What is good? I mean, what is really good, my people? It is UK. Trying to Dr. Blick, the darkest man around. And today, guys, I'm here with Vengeful. Say hi to the people, man.
What is up, bros and bros? And it's good to be here yet again with my boy, Dr. Blick. Always a pleasure. Always fun talking about my favorite franchise right now, which is One Piece.
It's always good to have you on the channel, man. And pretty much we're going to be following up the video that we did last time about is One Piece too long to catch up with. But this is going to be slightly centered on something different, because this is going to be centered around the barriers that people face when trying to watch One Piece or when trying to catch up with One Piece. So, Venge, the first one I'm going to start off with is procrastination, because I know that's a big one for everyone. So, when it came to you getting into One Piece, what was the big major point in terms of procrastination? Like, did you experience that issue? Was it a big issue when watching One Piece? And also, give it from a neutral point of view if you can.
Alright, this is going to be a toughie. Hey Blick, I got an idea. Was you gonna bring up the Toonami thing, or was that?
Yeah, you can go for it.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if you wanted me to open that up or not, but just I know this is sudden. I know, guys. I know, but I felt like I wanted to tie this in because before I mentioned that, the whole idea about Toonami literally canceling the One Piece English dub, that was actually a huge eye-opener for me in terms of how popular One Piece really is in the West. I saw the video that Rogers Base has done on it, and he said it's not serious. I can definitely agree with that. It really isn't, but for me personally, especially me really getting into this series and enjoying it for what it is, it's not serious to the point where I need to feel like I'm triggered and yell and all that kind of stuff. But for me, I just feel like One Piece is just, I don't know, I just feel like the series is just disrespected. I mean, like, that's just how I feel personally. I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. I know it sounds crazy, but procrastination, you know, getting back on topic here. So could you ask me one more time just so I make sure I get this right?
So when it comes to procrastination, like, was there any major barriers when you were trying to get to One Piece in terms of procrastination? And what is the procrastination, like, what is the barrier of procrastination that people feel? Because this kind of links into also about the length of One Piece. Like, did that have a major impact on, like, you procrastinating on, like, trying to catch up?
I got you now. I got you. Well, for me, procrastination, it's like, as I was getting into it, I didn't really feel like it was more of a like, I didn't feel like I was procrastinating or anything. I think for me, it's just the simple fact that we talked about this factor many times ago, that it kind of like depends on the preferences of the individual and what they look for in a anime / manga franchise, especially the anime, because the manga, you know, you could just simply read it, but anime, people are looking for certain things. And for me, action is an important part of any series, especially when it comes to shonen anime. But for me, action isn't the #1 thing. For me, it's like the story has to keep me engaged. And One Piece has a very complex story. And because of the fact that the story was engaging to me, I didn't feel like I had any kind of, you know, I didn't develop any form of procrastination. But for somebody from the outside looking in and literally, you know, watching One Piece for the first time, that when we talk about procrastination and procrastination being a barrier, if there's something that turns them off, especially in terms of what the story focuses more on, yeah, they're definitely going to procrastinate. If there's very little action, for example, if you look at Naruto people, Dragon Ball people, they appreciate action more. And the fact that One Piece, it has action, but the action happens at a slower pace, then yeah, that can lead to procrastination, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree with what you're saying. Like all of these stuff come into a factor, because like the one major thing about One Piece is it doesn't pull the basic anime fans that don't really know that Dragon Ball and Naruto are anime. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really pull them people into watching it. Like, when you think about it, it doesn't really have that pull like these other shows have, because the way One Piece starts off, it starts off goofy. The fights don't really get serious until the deeper you get into the story. Even the storyline as a whole doesn't really get deeper until you actually get more into the series. Like, it's the slow build up and the slow progression that One Piece has that turns a lot of people off, and then you got times that with the length and everything, there's a lot of factors to that. And like, I totally agree with what you said about it. So the next thing I want to ask you is do you feel like the art style is a big issue in terms of people getting into One Piece? Because Naruto's designs are more out there. You got characters like Sasuke, Itachi. You got crazy character designs there that actually look cool, that actually appeal to the Dragon Ball / Naruto fans. Because when you think about it, we're in a day and age where if you like Dragon Ball, you like Naruto, or you like one or the other. It's rare to see someone that likes One Piece. And if there's someone that likes One Piece, for the most part, they've seen Dragon Ball or Naruto. Or like, it's rare to see one person that's just seen One Piece on its own, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I feel you on it. Okay, here's where I stand in regards to the art style, because I feel like the art style could definitely be a potential barrier when it comes to One Piece. Because I'm not gonna lie, like, before I even decided to give One Piece a chance, I heard about it, I saw the art style of One Piece, and I just found it too bizarre to get into. And a good example of this is how a lot of people that does not like One Piece at all, they always like to kind of like poke fun of the art style when it comes to the females, how they all kind of like have such a similar shape, like the shape of an hourglass or whatever you want to call it. You know, jokes like that. Hey, I'm not complaining. Even though I'm definitely not complaining, even though, and I'm not trying to be sexist, okay? I'm talking to the feminists out there, because I know how the feminists get when it comes to, oh, you only like females with hourglass figures, big ass, big boobs, and all that shit, right? Because they have that. I'm not gonna lie. But it's very strange. For me, it was very awkward when I first heard of it and I first saw it, and it turned me off. But the thing is, it's like the more I watched it, the less strange it was to me. It's kind of like for anything that's new, it's like there's a lot of things that you're going to find weird, especially when it comes to new stuff. But it's only when you get engaged in it and you watch it or do something more and more, and you find it less strange. It's more familiar. And for me, like, there's a lot of things when it comes to the art style that kind of like makes up for that issue. Like, after watching it for a period, a long period of time, there's subtle things. I already talked about this once before, like the fact that the main characters never wear the same gear for a long period of time, and I thought that was a really good change, and it helped improve the art style. Because when you look at series like Naruto, Dragon Ball, they do change, their appearances and stuff like that, but it's not as common as in One Piece. I totally agree with that. Like, I totally agree with what you're saying. And then you got to factor into account that when it comes to One Piece designs, the designs that people desperately want to see, it's not necessarily at the beginning, but when you get late into the series, you see characters like Kid, you see characters like Law, you see characters like Smoker, and you see characters like Virgo. Like, the list goes on. There's loads of dope designs, and there's loads of goofy ones as well. Like, the comedy aspect to One Piece kind of turns people off, because Oda doesn't shove action as much as, let's say, Toriyama does in the Z portion. Because most people that like the Z, I'm not sure if they would actually feel the same way if they watched the Dragon Ball portion, even though the Dragon Ball portion, in my opinion, is better. Because if you ask most people, they'll say
Z's better, and you can ask most people, they've only seen Z. Same with Naruto, like there are people out there that said that quote unquote have only seen Shippuden or prefer Shippuden because it was more action driven. Or then you got the people that prefer part 1 because of the way, like, the whole emotional aspect and the whole Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. Everybody that's watched Naruto loves the Rock Lee versus Gaara fight. You know what I mean?
Wow, man.
Like
okay.
me, I love that fight. Like, it reminded me of DBZ. That's another thing. Like, the similarities are there. It's just that,
yes.
like, if you look at One Piece's beginning and then you look at Dragon Ball, like the original Dragon Ball's beginning, with how everything starts off, it's kind of similar because Dragon Ball doesn't start off with high action scenes. The only reason why people are more into it is because they saw the Z portion. You get what I mean? The Z portion is where all the actually see Raditz, you see Piccolo, like you see all these crazy characters fighting like at such high intensity, high speed. Like Vegeta said, like in the same saga, that I'm gonna blow up the planet. Like in the original Dragon Balls, for the most part, it was Goku and Bulma walking to find the Dragon Balls for the first time. It was more of an adventure-based series, and then it evolved as it went on. Like with One Piece, it's all about, like, especially with the way Toonami did it, it's about what they showed off first. What was the hook? Because when you watch stuff on TV, you gotta find that episode that hooks, especially episodes that are continuous. There's gotta be that one episode that drags you into watching it. And with One Piece, you gotta be kind of selective, like with it. Especially if you got people that are not gonna be staying up late at night to watch it, because I heard the viewings on where they placed it late at night, and frankly, like what Roger said, Tokyo Ghoul is a better fit. Like, there is a better fit, and it's gonna have a quicker pull because One Piece does get kind of slow. And that comes to my next question, Venge. I know we've mentioned this in another video, but I just want to reiterate this again. Like, but this is kind of a different question. Is One Piece, like, is the length of One Piece scary? Like, is One Piece, like, does the length of One Piece scare people away? Do people feel like they're pressured to catch up? And then you got people that want to cut corners so they can catch up. And then to some people, the show's too hyped. Like, what's your thoughts on this?
Oh, yes. I would say the longevity of the series can definitely turn people off, because then there are some people where they would see how long it is, and they already got this notion put in their head that, oh man, like, this is gonna become more of a chore. You know, like, I'm gonna have to find a way to speed through this. And because of that fact, the fact that they feel that it's more of a chore, a chore, it just automatically turns them off. I heard from a lot of people that they would say, oh, like, this is just too long. And because of the fact that it's too long, that gives them more opportunities to screw everything up. You know what I mean? And to them, it becomes more of a chore. And it's especially if you get to a part where, let's say, for example, someone's trying to get into One Piece, right? And they watch it and it takes a long time. There are some arcs where it takes an extremely long time to build up to the action scene, to the point where they just lose interest. Exactly. Because some people's tolerance is lower.
Especially, like, I was just gonna say real quick, especially people are hyping up the series, because you know when people get into One Piece, when you get into a good part, you're just so amazed, you know what I mean? The backstory, because most people that get into One Piece, they didn't expect it to be this good, and that's why they got into it, because they didn't expect it to be good. That is one of the main reasons. So the hype level of not expecting it to be good makes the series, it puts the series on another level. And yeah, that's pretty much what I was gonna say. Like you said, the build up, but you can continue on with what you were saying, Benj.
I think that was mainly the biggest thing that I wanted to focus on, was their tolerance level, because that's the biggest issue here when it comes to it. If their tolerance is low and the story is dragging on for too long, it's just going to shut them down. You know, that's the biggest issue with One Piece, is its longevity. It all depends on the tolerance level. And then on top of that, what are they really looking for in the series? If the series is not providing that, then, you know, that's just going to turn them off like that quick. Okay. So I think that's thing I just wanted to focus on. So you can move on to the next thing unless you have something else.
I got something else to add, and this is more of a question to, or more of a question slash reaction to, or something that people have said. So, okay, like I'm not gonna say the person's name. You know the person. I'm just gonna leave it anonymous. So someone told me that they showed someone else that said the One Piece art style at the beginning is ugly. They showed them a random scene of the whole, you know how Zoro says, or how Sanji goes, "What happened, Zoro?" Nothing. Like, someone showed them that scene and they said that scene was amazing. It looked dope and it looked something that they're looking forward to. What do you say to people that see scenes of One Piece but they're just like they just can't bring themselves to watch it because they feel the beginning is so crusty?
That's like, what would I say to them?
Yeah, like how would you advise them to get into the series? Like, what would you do, like, if someone said that to you?
Ooh, this is a really tricky question. But if anything, it would probably be a good idea if it depends on the person, because if they don't like getting spoiled, you know, it's going to be a big issue in terms of trying to show them an interesting part that would get them into it. But at the same time, if it's the type of person where they need some serious convincing to the point where they honestly believe that they're not going to watch the series, right? Mm-hmm. But you expose them to a very cool part of the series, I feel like that's the best way to get the hook. Like, if they see something really cool and they find it really dope, that could be something that can potentially hook them in. But at the same time, if they feel that it's too long, it's almost to the point where you just want to advise them to say, oh, you know what you should do? What you can do is maybe like skip around the certain arcs. Now, for us personally,
it's terrible.
We would probably say that's not a good idea because you're going to miss out on a lot of things. But like I said, again, it depends on the person. And if you really want to get someone interested in the series, you're going to have to do something different. And the only thing that you can do to help them is to expose them to something that would make them say, hey, this series, there's some good stuff in it. So you're going to have to tell them, okay, you might have to skip parts, like skip through certain parts to get to the arcs that has maybe like more of that thing that they're looking for.
Okay, I totally agree with what you're saying. And this is another question, and someone has said this to me also. And this is the fact that someone said that I would watch One Piece, but the length is like incredibly long. Not only that, I feel like I can get more out of watching other anime than watching One Piece. I can watch tons more anime in the length that it takes me to watch One Piece. And then you got people in my comment section saying that One Piece got so good to a point that they got addicted and they just breezed right through it when they got to a certain stage. Like, what's your overall thoughts on the differences between opinions of someone that gave One Piece a chance and just breezed right through it, and then someone that said I can watch other series and get more out of it than I can get with One Piece?
Ooh, another tough one. Because now it's kind of, I don't want to make people feel like I'm generalizing people, but this is the best thing that I can do at this point. Because here's how I sum up One Piece as a whole and people getting into it. There's no in between. It's almost like you're either going to like it or you're just not going to be interested in it. I'm not going to say hate it, but then you have people that's just going to straight up hate it. It's either you're going to like it or you're going to not like it. There's rarely an in between, if you catch my Tokyo trip.
I'm done. I saw that reference coming, bro. I saw that reference coming, bro. I saw that reference coming, bro. And the way you just like slip that in, bro. Bro, you wrong for that, man, bro. You
wrong. So, to make a long story short, once again, it's gonna come down to how open-minded the viewer is. Sadly, I mean, it's hard for me to come up with another reason for this. Because like you have people that are so into a certain series that they kind of like push everything else to the side, or they're so into action that if it doesn't have action, they're just gonna push that stuff away like chitterlings, you know what I mean? They're gonna push it back. It smells, it stinks. I'm not eating this shit. So, I mean, for the most part, it comes down to open-mindedness, and I'm not trying to, you know, like stab somebody in the heart, but it's almost like open-mindedness and maybe the level of the maturity of the viewer. I know that sounds harsh, but I mean, like, if you're in it for just action and you don't care about story or anything, it kind of coincides with the age group to a certain degree. I'm trying not to pop shots, but that's just how I feel about it.
So bullets into that chest, bro. I can see you right now, bro. I can see people coming at you now.
Yeah, they probably will, but you know what? I'll take the heat for now because that's just how I feel about it. But to be more, what's the word? Damn. I don't know what happened to that word. It just left me. I'm just going to say open-mindedness is a huge factor when it comes to getting into One Piece for me. If you're willing to look at it for what it is instead of what it's not, you'll be more inclined to actually giving it a chance.
I totally agree with that. And this is the final thing I pretty much got to say on this note regarding this video. And you're probably going to say this is a tough one, or you might find it really easy depending on your mindset. So, if One Piece was to be successful on Toonami, out of all the arcs that we have, you can even include arcs in the manga if you really need to, what arc would have been best to showcase what One Piece is about, and what would have been best to actually bring the audience into One Piece as a whole?
There's so many. This is not necessarily that hard. I mean, it could be hard depending on, you know, there's so many arcs that you feel like they would benefit from watching. But honestly, you don't want to, you know, like jump ahead to time skip so fast that they'll wind up not understanding shit if you do that. But I agree 100% with what Rogers Base said as far as where they should have started One Piece. If they would have started with Water 7, I feel like, you know, that would have gave them more of a chance. I feel like the things that you saw there, the emotion, the
fights,
the dysfunctional relationship between the group during that time period, as well as the hype behind it, it would have helped a lot of people see the potential of One Piece if they would have started that.
Oh yeah, and Veg, there's one thing you're forgetting, bro. There's one thing that everybody loves, bro. The fights. Like Rob Lucci versus Luffy. I've heard people say that's one of their favorite fights that they've ever seen in anime, bro. Like I've seen people say that. A lot of people. And these are not generally people that are just hardcore One Piece fans. Even some people that are not hardcore One Piece fans, they have said that Rob Lucci versus Luffy is one of their favorite fights that they've ever seen. And that arc is arguably one of the greatest arcs in One Piece, like to date, still now. But yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say. Got anything else to add, Venture? Or that's it?
I don't want to spoil stuff for people that may actually give One Piece a chance after this video, because there's so much shit that I want to talk about Water 7. all I would tell you is this: if Usopp annoyed the shit out of you in Water 7, you're going to see the potential that Usopp actually has. Like, that moment in time made me like Usopp as a character, because like he did some shit that I respected, and I saw like, ooh shit, like when Usopp actually levels up, he's going to be dope. I know he's a fucking coward, I know that, but you should not sleep on this man, because he evolves like a freaking Pokemon, bruh. That's all I got to say.
I totally agree with that. Like, a lot of people didn't like Usopp at the beginning. Me, I found him funny as hell. Like, the amount of, like, not Ninja Star said on Twitter, the amount of memes you can make out of Usopp is unreal with the facial expressions and everything that he does. But yeah, like, this has been the video. I hope you guys catch our Tokyo Drift. Well, yeah, check out Venge's channel. Link will be in the description below. I highly recommend it. And I know I did say I wasn't going to upload for a while, but after hearing the news about Toonami and everything, it made me want to make this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to go back on break like with like YouTube, like I said, but I don't know. I'm just going to take it one step at a time. And yeah, let me just wrap up this video. So please comment and subscribe. I know I say this all the time, but at the end of the day, I'm just saying, please leave a like rating if you enjoyed this video. And yeah, this UK Trottler Brother will catch you in the next one. Bye guys.
Peace.